Today, I want to go over what I think are my hot takes for Beyblade, specifically the blades. Sure, this list right here it was provided to me by JTG, Temecula. Has every part right now so far released, for the most part. I will not talk about some parts here, specifically ratchets and below. I will talk about, the lock chips and everything else, because those are related to the blades, right? What's up, JT? And I want to preface this, I'm not saying it's besides SSR tier, right? Everything in here is just my opinion. I have some slightly different opinions than some people. So I guess we'll just start off with the very first one, right? We got the Dran Sword. Now, Dran Sword is a classic, right? I would still say, it's still strong. Granted, it's basically bullied by everything. But for what it is, I want to have a good starting point, right? What's up, Ace Master? I want to have a really good starting point for this. Main reason is because this is where you got to kind of base everything off of this particular blade. And I might sound crazy, but it's usable. Nothing too crazy about it. It's usable. It's still usable in terms of if you were to show up with a tournament, you could still get some wins with it. Granted, you are going to be struggling, especially when you start getting to the heavier weight blades later on. That's where you're going to have the real issues. Now, here's where I think it's a little crazy, all right? Hell Scythe. What do I think about Hell Scythe? Hell Scythe, before Wizard Rod, was the dominant stamina blade, right? Nowadays, people kind of use it for weird combos, kind of recoil based. And it's kind of like a sleeper pick when you want to kind of surprise people with it. I'm actually going to put this one into viable. All right. Reason why, why did it move over there? Back up. No. Why do you hop up? There we go. We fixed it. Hell Scythe is viable because it has that, you could kind of mold it to what you want. And it's still, people kind of expect one thing from it. But if you use, a weird, slightly off meta combo with it, you can catch people off guard. And catching people off guard in Beyblade X is actually one of the biggest advantages you can get. Especially when you start getting to competitive. Specifically, people get so used to seeing, and you'll see one of the reasons why I have a weird hot take for this one later on, but it comes down to how predictable you are. Alright, Wizard Arrow, I'm just gonna put you in good luck. Alright, it's too exposed for the ratchet, so if he goes anything underneath it, maybe a shark edge or anything, basically anything can get underneath this thing and snipe the ratchet. And that's really bad. And it's not even for its time was it good for stamina what it was made to be. So I gotta say it was actually kind of just a good luck. Now, Helm Knight, right? Or yeah, Helm Knight. This blade is kind of weird. There's I'm not placing it down just yet. So, well, Helm Knight has has a really good shape, right? That's the one thing going for it. However, I the only one person I still using it is my brother. And he does use it to a great advantage, but he wouldn't use it in a way that you would think it is. He runs it as Smash Knight. And I think that's the only way you can actually get this to work, is to kind of be that attacker that also has a shape that lets it deflect bigger attacks. So I'm actually going to put this one into above Dran Sword and usable. Not that it's viable or anything, right? I just think it's usable. Alright, the next one. We have Knight Lance. I actually like this bay. I actually like this bay a lot. Alright. Oh, Jolene. Thanks for the follow. So, Knight Lance, I'd say it's really good, right? But it's very circumstantial, right? There's no reason for you to go out of your way to use Night Lance like in your deck, unless you're trying to do it for like a certain circumstance, or like you see that they're running like a heavy a focus on attack. You might want to run Night Lance and like kind of like a slightly defensive offensive combo. That way you can still have that the stamina later on, but it's only into that type of circumstance. Now, we all like gamblers, right? And there's only one thing that I can say about this one. It's viable, right? It's still like good right now, right? Because of its aggressive shape and its ability to just get ratchets and just knock people up. Even till this day, you still see some good old clips of Shark Edges just like knocking bays like they had no right knocking out completely. And that's why I think Shark Edge is still there. Like, what's it called? One of the combos I used to use a long time ago, just for fun. What's up, Gordito? Oh, one of the combos I used to use is actually a Shark Edge. Shark Edge on 960 needle. Wizard Rod in a tier so low, the plastic is bubbling. Well, it's right here. It's still right here. Oh, shout out to Audit. Alright. Here's what I'm gonna say. The next one. We have Cobalt Drake, right? And the only thing it actually has going for it, in my own opinion, is its weight. Other than that, I don't think its shape is that good. It didn't have that good stamina, even when it was considered dominant back then. I don't think it was that dominant. Gordita, I want to show some support. Loves my teammate. No, dude, team showrunners. Yeah, can't wait. Next week. So there's no lower than low comment. No, I gotta be honest with the Wizard Rod. So I want to put, surprisingly, I'm just gonna put Cobalt Drake into viable, just above Hell Scythe. Simply because, like, nowadays it's not even the top of its what it was before. It was top of weight. That's all it had. Oh damn! I just dropped 15 viewers. All right. Well, I guess people don't like Beyblade, but whatever. So here's a weird Beyblade we got. We got Leon Claw. All right. Leon Claw is a kind of a weird release, right? It kind of came out. The only good parts from it were its ratchet and its bit. Other than that, it kind of just fell flat when it released. And unfortunately, the only time I've actually seen it do good was in specifically a Leon Claw 560 Rush. And that was for a specific gimmick tournament in which blades under 33 were only allowed, with the exception that Hell Scythe was also not allowed. So I'm gonna have to put this one to gimmick. It's just not there, man. Like, it doesn't have anything going for it, really. Also, fun fact, there's a Weight Watchers ad popping up the moment you bring up weight. I know, right? What's it called? Viper Tail. Viper Tail was one of the blades I tried to make work, but I just never could. But I won't say that it's bad, because I've seen some really crazy like downward attack with it, with like some nasty launches that are really crazy. However, that it just gets to a point where it's like, do I need to like put in all this effort into making it really good? FBI is always listening. Leon Claw, a little more like Leon Paw. What's up, Bear? Woo. So, because it's like so niche, I'm honestly gonna put it below Drowned Sword, because it takes too much effort to use, but it is usable, right? Like, that's the main reason why I was just like, okay, I think it's okay. But the amount of like effort to make it good is just too much. All right, we got Rhino Horn. All right, this one's pretty easy. Good luck. Rhino Horn is one of those blades that just gets bullied, man. It doesn't have shape. It doesn't have weight. It barely has anything going for it. I mean, if you're trying to like just play for gimmicks, Rhino Horn is fun. You gotta try to make it go super fast, but at the same time, like, other than that, there's nothing there to make it strong. Even the basic combo it comes with Spike, it just makes it feel like you're just wasting your time. Cause like it doesn't even stamina anyone, and your whole goal is just to basically dodge with a Spike. You wanted Cobalt Drake for a while, but no, Cobalt Drake is not that good. If you're looking to collect it, sure, get it. But I would not try to use it competitively. At least not anymore. It's not even, like I said, viable for the time. So, Dran's Dagger here. Dran Dagger is one of those weird blades because I've actually done some crazy shit with it. I think I'm going to put this at the top of usable. And that's only because, like, it actually has... it actually has some weird mechanics with it if you can get it underneath. Granted, it is getting a little outclassed in terms of what is released now. So, I'm going to put it at the top of usable. And that's where it shall be. Alright, next one we have Hell's Chain. Hell's Blades have been pretty fucking strong. The only bad one is the one that we'll get to in a bit. But Hell's Chain. I actually won in the tournament that me and BearNet first met. We had it was a weird draft pick, right? I picked Hell's Chain specifically because I knew that I didn't need to try that hard in that particular setup. But at the same time, it's still good. I would say it's still good and usable, right? But nowadays, I think you're better off for a gimmick. It's fallen off, right? Main reason why I think it's fallen off, there's just too many stamina blades. You have Silver Wolf, you have Wizard Rod, you have even Hell Scythe that's still power creeping it, right? You gotta remember that. Angel Taco watching while at work. What's up, Angel Taco? So I think it's only good for gimmicks now. Cause you're wasting your limited part usage on a blade that's not gonna get you that strong anywhere else. All right. Phoenix Feather. Circumstance. That's 100% circumstance. Why would you even use Phoenix Feather when it's a Dran Sword? And Dran Sword is 3 grams heavier and has more oomph to it. The only reason you would ever use this is if you're just trying to be funny or be within a certain weight limit. Only reason. Alright. This is where I turn some heads, alright? I know it's dominant. Phoenix Wing. Phoenix Wing is still strong, right? It's still good in current meta. However, I think the problem with Phoenix Wing is that everyone uses Phoenix Wing. And because everyone uses Phoenix Wing, I'm actually just going to put it on viable. It's become so clear on how to beat it and what its weaknesses are that it has no surprise factor really anymore. And that's a big thing. It's still, it'll still get you wins, right? But, you start getting to the upper tiers, being able to know, what's going on, what they're trying to do, it just becomes less usable as you get up there. But it's still usable, right? A shout out to Monster, he still uses Phoenix Wing like a fucking crazy person. But then you gotta, like, there's a lot more effort you gotta do into it. And I think that Phoenix Wings has kind of like become predictable. Oh, I'm doing everything. Everything that's on this list up until Ratchets. Maybe I'll do Ratchets too. Alright, the next one we have Wyvern Gale, or Gale Wyvern. This thing is only good for a gimmick, alright? Like, if you're trying to run all Wyvern or like Dragon types and this is like the only one that you have, sure, throw it in there. But it's too high in terms of the metal placement, so it doesn't really defend its Ratchet that well. And it doesn't even do what it was made to do, which is be stamina, right? That's why I think that it's only good in gimmicks. Now, Sting Unicorn. This is old one right here. You know what? I still think this thing is viable. If you get like the right combo, the right build with it, you could surprise a lot of people still, because people forget this thing has a lot of stamina, yet still has a really good attack. Baby Wyvern struggle. So I think Sting Unicorn is like a sleeper pick if you're trying to like surprise a meta and you know what you're doing with it, right? Especially when you're like, oh, they're just gonna run Phoenix Wing. You could run Sting Unicorn and do well into Phoenix Wing still. And that's insane. You might not see as many like victories with it, like, or top 4 placements. But Sting, when it cooks, man. Next one we have is Sphinx Cowl. Sphinx Cowl is a recoil-based blade. And even when I was running it on the gimmick one, I don't think it was that good. I think it's actually, because of its shape, it basically kills itself. Right? And that's a huge issue. Especially, the only person I ever saw really run it, Alomil, yeah, Unicorn's still good. But Sphinx Cowl, the only person I saw was Jack, that one dude, or Jack the Ripper. He moved to Arizona not long ago, but he was the only person to use this thing, and it just never got him points. It kind of like, when it did, it was like a surprise type of deal. Now, this is a crazy one. I'm going to put Drown Buster over Phoenix Wing. Why do I think Drown Buster is above Phoenix Wing in strong? It's because it excels at what it does. Yeah, Jack moved, Gordito. Drown Buster is every meta bay users, what's it called? Boogeyman. Because you never know. These people are running Drown Buster on goddamn Quake, and when it hits, dude, that thing just destroys things, right? You put them on Elevate, you put them on whatever. They don't even care what they put them on. Buster just does Buster things. In fact, I was running Buster on Turbo, for a random testing thing, and that thing was killing people after it lost all of its stamina. It didn't make any sense. And it's just one of those blades you can never really count out. It has its surprise factor that even the person that's using it doesn't even know what the hell's going on. So you can't even read their mind. Those late Buster hits can send you flying. Yeah, they can. And it's scary. That's the one thing that it has its surprise factor. Because sure, it might just peter out, which is most of the time what will happen. But it could just randomly just be oh, explode. And it's Mega Man all over again, calling out a fucking explosion and just dying right after. And it's I did my job. And you're fuck. Alright, the next one is Hell's Hammer. I think Hell's Hammer is at the very low end of usable. It's not very good. You know what? I'm gonna put it at the upper tier of circumstance, actually. There's no real reason for you to like run Hell's Hammer unless you're trying to run a Hell's deck. It's kind of mid. Its main like purpose or gimmick that was supposed to be was downward attacks, but it fails at that. It just kind of gets like toppled over too easily. It has like no like downward actual force to it. And the next one is Wizard Rod. Wizard Rod, of course. Ready to rediscover your spark. Wizard Rod, SSR. No real need to go too crazy into it. Yeah, exactly. I'll talk about that later. Reason why Wizard Rod is SSR, it's not the heaviest blade, but it has the weight distribution that makes it extremely good. And it has just enough ridges to where it could have recoil. So you're seeing Wizard Rod run on basically anything and it's working. Even people were trying to run it on Quake or Rubber XL. The thing about Wizard Rod though, it's just so dominant because of that. Granted, it's not unbeatable, right? That's what people think. It's so unbeatable. But depending on how you play it and how your opponent's going to launch, you could easily get up and underneath it and it gets destroyed. So that would be Wizard Rod. It's just, even like, if you want to play competitively, it has to be there. Shout out to Wizard Rod 160 low rush, the funniest attacker. Yep. Well, then there's gonna be another blade. Alright, next one. Tyranno Beat. Tyranno Beat. I think Tyranno Beat is the upper of strong. It has, the only thing it doesn't have is the weight now that we're starting to see with these new Beyblades. It's super fucking strong though, in general. It has a good shape. It has enough, you could change it. You could even put it on a higher ratchet. It's one of the few blades I could recommend on a higher ratchet because it has a good downwards attack, surprisingly. And has enough variance in the metal at the bottom that it actually changes how it interacts depending on its height. So that's why I think it has more viability than Phoenix Wing. Because Phoenix Wing is like, you run it one way. And it's basically the same no matter which way you run it. You could run it low rush, rush. The basic goal of it's the same. It doesn't really have much of a change for upper or smash. With Tyranno, or Tyranno Roar, or Tyranno Beat, I mean. You have the upper where you could do like some weird like downward attack. I've seen people run it on stamina bits. And it just works, right? Of course, my favorite combo, I have to shout out to 160 level. I end up using that to take when we were doing a team match, we were down 2 players where we had 5 life points each. And I managed to reverse sweep the enemy team with Tyranno Beat 160 level and as one of my main attackers. And it was able to get like 3 extreme pockets back to back to back nearly. And it was like amazing whenever it popped out. Alright, here's a weird one. Shinobi Shadow. I think it's usable. Very bottom usable, but it's usable. Only because of its shape and like there's some weird combos people have been running on it. Specifically, there's a guy in our area called what's it called? Forklift or NPC. He likes to run it on like 180 and like it just somehow just lives. It just doesn't die. It just tanks hits like a fucking god. Granted, it has a really good shape. The only thing it has lacking is its weight. And unfortunately, that's pretty big. Next one, we're going to have Tusk Mammoth. I think Tusk Mammoth is just right next to Hell Scythe. I made it an Echo. It's not too bad. It's basically the same thing. Steel Samurai. Steel Samurai is below Hell's Chain in gimmick. You ain't getting shit done with this shit. Honestly. It is so hard to use, or not even hard to use. It's just, it has no points of where it's like really strong at all. The only reason why you would ever use it is if it's a special gimmick tournament where like, oh, you get to use all Samurai Bays this week or something like that. Only reason I would ever see it. But it's better than Good Luck because it still has a good, like, it still defends its ratchet. And it has like somewhat a small point to be able to attack. Like Leon Claw. And this one is, well, what's it called again? The fucking pterodactyl one? Shit. I'm going to put this below Viper Tail. It's the same thing. Talon Petra. There's another name for it. I forget. Well, it's probably just Petra Talon. Weight loss that fits you, Jink Shinobi. Shinobi. Alright, Knife Shinobi. Right there, right next to Rhino Horn. Tyranno Roar. I'm going to put Tyranno Roar in usable. Top of usable. It has the same shape as Phoenix Wing. It's slightly lighter. But like, there's no real reason to use it. Really, realistically. Even when it was strong, when it first came out. It was kind of like, eh. You're just kind of going for the same thing that Phoenix Wing is doing right now. Bear Scratch. Bear Scratch, I think, is actually the better version of Rhino Horn. So I'm going to put that above it. Pecha Swing. Alright, now we get into, what's it called? Bite Croc. Bite Croc, I think, is... It's not Shark Edge, right? It's too light to be Shark Edge. I think it's at the... right about... just better than Dran's Sword. Slightly. Actually, no. Below it. I think it's below Dran's Sword. The weight makes a huge difference, and we're just gonna be seeing soon that there's no real reason to run it with the new stuff that's coming out. Yell Kong. Yell Kong is the worst version of Wyvern Gale. Right? And no real reason to use it. This is a gimmick. Wise Tiger. I want to say Wise Tiger is usable. I've won with it before. But the only good thing about Wise Tiger is its bit. So, I'm going to put Wise Tiger in probably Good Luck. It gets toppled over. It's too weird of like weight distribution to like be really viable. I've tried it with too many different things. It just doesn't work. The next one, right? Cobalt Dragoon. Everyone likes Cobalt Dragoon, right? I have a hot take for this. I think Cobalt Dragoon is the top of viable. Just because it has one good combo that people use doesn't mean that it's SSR tier. Even I use it, and I know way too much about it. I have to put it in the top of viable. It's no longer as strong as it used to be. Especially if you know enough in terms of especially if you know enough about the meta and how to beat it. It's easily outclassed. I'm having to put in a lot of effort into making it more viable now. And it's one combo that it has become really strong at. It's starting to fall off. Because like, what other combo you would really use is level, right? And level, I would honestly say it's probably better on a fucking Tyranno beat more than a Cobalt Dragoon at this point. It just, there's too many things that are trying to counter it, and it's starting to fall. But, of course, meta's going to be slow. for it to actually to catch up. Now that the meta has Cobalt Dragoon as the #1 blade, people are going to start actually like trying to find ways to counter it. And it's already there. Surprisingly, the one thing it can counter, or was known to counter, was Wizard Rod. There is new developments into Wizard Rod builds that counter Dragoon. And it just works. I will say it's stronger than Phoenix Wing. Specifically because, what's it called? You know, if you know how to play that matchup, it just, all you got to do is stuff the Phoenix Wing early, and then you just outspin it. Because Phoenix Wing doesn't have good stamina to begin with. Black Shell. Black Shell is 100% gimmick, but I want to put it at the top of gimmick just because I like the ratchet snipe it can do, right? It's just so good and like doing what it does, and being like a little piece of what the hell are you doing? Shout out to a blader from Illinois named Louis. I faced off against him in at Anime Central, and he brought Black Shell in his deck. Unfortunately for him, I knew how to play against it, and I stuffed his Black Shell. I think it was 360 low flat, and it just couldn't do anything. But he was getting some nasty hits on people that day. Oh my god. Especially when you don't know what you're doing or don't know the blade. It's hard to beat. The next one, Aero Pegasus. Aero Pegasus SSR. And the reason why, it has a shape, weight, and what's it called? It can be built in any way, essentially. It's kind of like the same idea as like Wizard Rod. You could build it in any way you want, and it could change. Personally, I like to use Aero Pegasus 160 kick, but people have ran it on level, low rush, orb, hexa, you name it. It's basically been ran on anything. Its weight distribution is just too good, right? That's why I have to put an SSR tier. And actuality, that is actually my main carry for my deck, to be fair. It would be Aero Pegasus. I know the matchup for Aero Pegasus into basically everything here so far. And it has to do with just, okay, if it's an attack type, my goal is to just stuff its attacks, and then so I can out-stamina it. If it's a defense or stamina type, oh, my goal for this one is to either soft launch to get a snipe, right? Either get a snipe on the initial launch, or try to go for a, what's it called, drop launch into a strong smash attack. Just depending on what I'm up against, right? The next one, we have Leon Crest. Leon Crest is at the top of usable. There's some weird combos out there that have worked for it. I want to shout out a combo I used a long time ago, which was 160 Unite. Really gets released. Yep, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a gimmick or easy one to get. Kind of like clear Cobalt Drake. I would hope so too. I would buy like 5 of them, not going to lie. Not even to fucking to resell, just for me to have. Yep. And hold on to it. So Leon Crest is literally one of those bays that just like, it's weird because it's so top heavy, but it has some weird smash potential and like destabilization potential. It's actually really good as an offensive attacker, or offensive defender, I should say, because it's able to like counter hit pretty well. In fact, I used to run this in my deck when Wizard Rod was banned in San Diego, but it would constantly beat out Phoenix Wing, just because Phoenix Wing, like, they were just running it mostly just straight attack, and it would out stamina. Now Phoenix Rudder is the newer version of Phoenix Wing. Not very much usage has been seen from this thing, but I was able to use it on a weird combo of 970, specifically 970, and rush. The whole purpose of it was to get like a good initial down smash to destabilize a Bay, and then it would just somehow outspin it. And that combo worked out pretty well. But I would not say it's very viable, but like maybe right above Tyranno Roar is where it belongs. You just want one to test against? Whale Wave. Whale Wave is one of those blades that are feast or famine. Our resident Whale Wave users have been kind of losing it, I will say. I want to say this is at the top of viable underneath Phoenix Wing. I have an Alien Earth commercial playing. Let me know when it's done. Let me know when it's done. Oh, is it this one? Alright, cool. So next one we have Silver Wolf. Silver Wolf is like the known go-to defense combo. And I want to put this at the top of strong. There's some weird combos that are used now. One of the combos I used was 360 level. And that's a hard counter into Cobalt Dragoon. Yep. Silver Wolf does some crazy things. And people are like... People don't realize Silver Wolf is that strong because Wizard Rod is there. If Wizard Rod wasn't there, Silver Wolf would be the next thing to be banned. 100%. Because it's just too strong in terms of like its stamina, its defense, its ability to tank, to parry. It has everything. And it does have surprising recoil to it too at times. I prefer to run it like as a balance type. That's just me. And it's still good. Now, Garuda. Garuda is a combo or a blade I've used before to get top. And the weird way is you kind of run it like you want to run a shark. So I want to put this above shark, actually. It just has slightly better shaping for me for getting the upper. But you are running on like some weird combos, like 970 Ignite. The 970 Ignite was actually a brainchild of mine. Specifically into Wizard Rod, not Wizard Rod, to Silver Wolf. Because at 970, the blade of Garuda lines up in between the assist blade, or not the assist blade, the free spinning blade, and the actual blade of Silver Wolf. So kind of like every time it hit, it's like kind of like pinching it. Yep. So it has that potential. Samurai Saber. I'm gonna start putting Samurai Saber up here. I don't think it's super strong, but I do think it's viable. In my personal opinion, I don't think it's that good outside of the use case against Dragoon. But it can do its. It does have its points, right? It's 2 points where it can do get some really nice hits off. Night Mail. Night Mail is definitely a strong contender for strong. Maybe, but like right above Tyranno Beat. People are like sleeping on Night Mail. Night Mail is good in like too many different ways. You have people running it on attack. You have people running it pure defensive. You have people running it on fucking elevate. Bear nap. You have people doing weird shit with it, and it just works. My boy Sasa. I haven't got Night Mail to work yet. I've got a Night Mail to work. The easiest way to use it is if you want to use it on like low rush. That's the easiest way. It might even be better on under flat when it comes out, when we start having that in our decks. But it's so tanky. It can tank anything, has good deflection, so it never really gets any good hits off, or you can't really get a good hit off of it. So it just deflects everything, and it just works. Impact Drake. Impact Drake, in my personal opinion, is below Phoenix Wing. People are like, what? Impact Drake below Phoenix Wing? I think the problem with Impact Drake, it's just too inconsistent, right? It's at that point where you know what it wants to do, but it just doesn't do it right. Specifically because of the rubber. It's actually the rubber's the issue. At least with Phoenix Wing, you know what's going to happen when it hits. With Impact Drake, you have no idea. It could just randomly burst someone. It could just recoil itself into the pocket out of nowhere. Like, it makes no sense to me. But it's still strong, right? It has that potential. But it's not consistent. And it gets more consistent as you play. But the problem is the more you play, the more likely it is to get banned from being able to be used because it's too worn. So you're kind of in a weird spot now with Impact Drake. Next one, Ghost Circle. I want to put Ghost Circle in usable. High top tier usable. If you're playing Ghost Circle, you have a specific goal in mind, and that goal is to be a nuisance. You're just trying to be there, and it really mind fucks people when you play with it too. You want to get dinner? We're still on Impact Drake. Yep. Ghost Circle is that that blade that if you hit it, it doesn't like either it goes flying or just bounces everywhere. And as Jolene just said, elevate on Ghost is so funny. Especially into Dragoon. Dragoon has zero chance into it too. Because it's like, it could literally be like not even spinning and Dragoon will pick it back up and it'll spin it back up into full speed again. That is literally the old school left spin. Beyblade. Alright, the next one. Golem Rock. Golem Rock, I think, is in strong. Let me see. Strong. Yep, right here. No, up here. Upper strong. The reason why Golem Rock is an upper strong is because you can run it defensively, you can run it offensively. It has, I would say, the best win rate into Phoenix Wing right now, specifically because of shape. Phoenix Wing just has a hard time getting a good hit off on it, and that's a huge deal, right? Phoenix Wing is one of the most used blades, and it's hard countered by Golem Rock, in my opinion. I would say in about like maybe 40 matches, I would say that Golem Rock actually takes maybe 30% or 30 of those matches. Easy. Just based off shape alone. Shelter Drake. This is definitely a top of circumstance. You're literally just trying to go for ratchet snipes. That's all you're doing. And I'll be honest, you're an asshole. Right? And now we get to the CX blades. We start getting to them at least. So I've been talking about this particular blade. What's it called? Brave. And I've been saying I think it's going to be meta. As we see later on as we get through these bays, some of the combos that are going to come up are just so tall that I think this blade itself will be really good. No. VTuber literally no. See, I fucked up. I did the math wrong. I did the percentage wrong. I mean 30 out of 40. 30 out of 40. 75% of the time. So 75% of the time. Alright? So I want to put Dran Brave in a strong. Specifically, the combo I'm thinking of with Dran Brave is Dran Brave Jaggy. And it's probably going to be on underflat or something like that. And the reason why I think this was going to be the top of strong or bottom of strong. You know, I just got off work, okay? Leave me alone. But Grand Brave, I think, is going to start seeing its use and its value when this Beyblade, Pegasus Blast, starts getting more and more used. Next one, Arc. Arc is at the bottom, middle of usable. I would say right about here. Yep, no, wait, above it. So Wizard Arc is very usable. I ran it on, I ran Arc on Slash, 160 Unite, and it did pretty well. But like I said, it's not the best combo for that. You're wasting a good ratchet for it just to make it viable. And then you waste, like, Unite is like one of those bits that I for one love, right? But I understand there's a huge skill requirement to use it. So I'm going to put that in a usable. Perseus Dark. Perseus Dark, I'm going to have to put it on Circumstance. You're not really running Perseus Dark, like, unless you're trying to run like all CX. And even then, you have better options. When we ran the 80 height or the buff to CX, Perseus Dark was like nowhere to be seen because like it doesn't have really much going for it. Realistically, it's just a heavy, like not heavy blade, but it has no real bite to it. It kind of just gets pushed around essentially. So what is this one? This one is Hell's Reaper. Hell's Reaper. Same thing. I think it's Circumstance. You're not really running it. No one's really using it. It's just, even with the ratchets, it's like it's gotten too tall right now to where it's not even usable. So this will go the same thing in the Rhino one. Scorpio Spear. Scorpio Spear, I have to say, is at the top of strong. 100% top of strong. And if you notice, when we first started the meta, or first started the generation, we said defense types are cooked. Look at this now. We fucked up. We made defense types too good. Look at this shit. You see this? You see this? We have Scorpio Spear. We have Silver Wolf. We have Golem Rock. We have Nightmail. They really said, oh, you thought defense was weak? We'll fix that. We'll fix that. And now look at us. All defense types are really strong. And I think that's another thing that's going to be happening depending on your area. For instance, this is some knowledge from me. The LA area is very susceptible to defense types, realistically. I think that's the way you beat LA. And that's because everyone runs attack. So you want to run like kind of like an aggressive defense type, specifically. Like deck. The only one you would have to worry about maybe is a Wizard Rod, so maybe you throw in like a Arrow Pegasus if you have the money. If you don't have the money, you take in a Scorpio Spear. You run Scorpio Spear on like maybe what 960? 960 Unite or Elevate. People have been running it on Elevate. You could run Silver Wolf on level, and it would counter a lot of bays up there. Now, I'm not even talking about Wizard Rod. And the Wizard Rod counters right now is starting to come, like, what I started with, what, a year ago? Which was Wizard Rod 560 Hexa, oh no, 570 Hexa. You're starting to see more play out of Wizard Rod again. Or the Hexa build variants. I think the Wizard Rod 160 Hexa is a cope. It's not that strong. But people use it because they see it a lot. But they don't understand why that particular version was good. Or the circumstances to use that. Golem Rock. You could run it on as an attack type, but it's still defensive. The only weakness I would say you have is into like Scorpio Spear, Wizard Rod, and Cobalt Dragoon, right? But into anything else up here, it does pretty well. It has the power to knock things out too. It has a shape to like get underneath and like push it out. Now, we're going to go back to the CX Blades. All right. We have Fox Brush. Fox Brush, I think, is top of viable. Like, actually top of viable. I would actually run Fox Brush over Impact Drake any day. And that comes down to its shape. It has the ability to just, like, randomly get really good hits. You could put 160 on it, of course, to give it more oomph. You can run it, like, you can also do the 160 in a weird way where it kind of balances it out slightly, and it becomes more of a stamina type that has like really good ridges. It has options. The only thing, like I said, I think it's holding it back might be ratchet height, but you can always adjust into tilt launches. Specifically, if you run Unite, I think the big thing about running Unite is just being able to have that tilt launch and defend against many other types of attacks, or get in and like down smash, proper down smash things. Now we got the Pringle. The Pringle. The only W Hasbro has had so far. Let's be fair. I would say the Pringle is right below Scorpio Spear. The reason why I think the Pringle is right below Scorpio Spear is sometimes it just kills itself. Like, it will hop all around, go into pockets, get out of pockets, go back into a pocket, and then die. Or it can hop into a pocket, pop out of the pocket, get a random hit off, and then cause your opponent to go into the pocket. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, it does what it wants, right? It goes where it pleases. It is the Dr. Mundo of Beyblade. It goes where it pleases. If it wants to die, it will die. It will kill itself. If it wants to win, it will win for no reason. And that's Hover Wyvern. Alright, Gill Shark. Good luck. Bottom of trash. Sorry. We don't even have the X over bays. I guess the X over bays are not that good. But for real though, it's heavily dependent on good. Just 100% is heavily reliant on position. This one is the no comment, but no real comment on that one. Triceratops. The top of usable. There's no real reason that you're using it other than the fact that you have it, and that's like your only blade. But it's still usable. I just don't think it's very good. And I ran a few like battles with it. Other people's opinions said it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of just there. It has no oomph, making it special, and it doesn't give you a reason to really use it, but it is usable. Pegasus Blast. Right now, I won't put Pegasus Blast at maybe here. Alright, I have Pegasus Blast right below Scorpio Spear. That's only because of the combo, like the rumors of the wheel combo. If you don't have wheel, it's kind of like turn is your next best option. And they're not bad, but it's like, do I really want to use this right now? I have no comment for this one, no comment for this. This is just a Tyranno Beat retool. What is this? Another retool? House Scythe retool? My goal on Wyvern is always to get a hit on the first second of the fight. Yep. But you never know how it's gonna go. You might need to get Pegasus Blast. Definitely. It's definitely good. So I don't have my hands on this one. Right? I will think it will be good. I 100% think this blade will be good. Just from what I've seen, what I want from a blade, it has it. So I'm excited. This one I have no comment for. More. This is the whale ones, no comment. What even is that? I have no idea. No comment. The Valkyrie Volt. I don't think it's going to be good, but I don't think it's even... the fact that it's not good, I'm hoping. Right? I'm hoping that it's not good so I don't have to fucking use it. That thing's expensive as fuck. And now we have the lock chips. Lock chips, no real comment. Because they're lock chips, right? Lock chip. Lock chip. Lock chip. This lock chip though, SSR. Just because it has like 3 extra grams of weight. For no apparent reason other than the fact that it's supposed to be the rare get one. Oh, it's in the no comment. It's not bad. I just have no comment. It's like kind of there. It's not like I put it in gimmick or good luck. Good luck is the bad one, okay? You want this in strong. Alright, you know what? I'm going to do this rating for these, alright? I'm going to put these all at the top of the class, right? And I'm going to put it where I think they are. Strong. It looks strong. Which one of the ones do we have? I would say Rhino should be with Rhino. Alright. Pegasus will be on that one. There we go. There we go. What are the other ones we have? Yeah, get good luck. Whale. And then gimmick. I think that's everyone. No. Gimmick. We have one for every row? Yep. I think we're good. No, it's not that it's good, right? It's that it looks cool. That's it. That's the only thing. It's not good. It's not nothing about like its skill, because like there's only one good lock chip, and that's this one. SSR. Every other one is based on looks. And let's see. Round. Good luck with this. Good luck with bumper. So these two assist blades are basically self-killing, essentially. Round makes your blade too tall. Bumper literally directs attacks into the ratchet. I actually ran a really funny what's it called? Nemesis deck. So Nemesis deck is when you have your 3-on-3, but you swap decks with the person that you're playing against. So you're purposely trying to make a really bad deck, right? The deck I gave them had Perseus Dark, Bumper, on 270 Disc Ball. That thing bursted every single match. It's like, it's a burst magnet. There's nothing anyone could have done. It was so bad. Oh, man. Next one we have is Slash. I would put Slash in strong, and I put Jag in strong. Because they're the only two viable ones. They're not in any particular order in terms of blades, but they're up there. Turn is in viable. So is Assault. Viable. Wheel is SSR, of course. I don't know these ones that well. I know one of them is the defense one, but not even worth it. And with that, with about an hour, right? We created my tier list. And as you can see, I have some weird takes. Some real weird takes here. And I know they're weird because they're not the consensus of the normal community. And that's what makes Beyblade X great. I could have a different opinion than everyone else, and it could still be viable. But to clean it up, I'm gonna remove all this shit. Just gonna remove all of it just so it's cleaner. Boop, boop, boo. I'll leave these up there. And with that, why don't I get rid of this? Let me zoom out a bit. Boop. And that's my tier list. I put Wyvern in SSR because he's the GOAT. I just screenshotted it.